Hello, this is Tira with Vintage Watercolors, and this is Paint With Me Daffodils Edition. So let's go over our supplies list. We've got Sharpie thin pen, pencil, eraser, a round brush, watercolor paper, yellow and green watercolors, water, and then also a large brush or something to swipe away the eraser remnants. So here I start off the daffodils by just outlining really large shapes. Try to go with the biggest shape that you can see when looking at a daffodil or any type of flower for that matter, and then you can go in for the details. It's much easier to do it that way because then you can actually see, oh, okay, this is my outline, this is kind of where the petals are going to go, and then adding the details will make it so much easier. As I'm going through, you guys can see me kind of redraw, erase, and then continue to go through and add those details just to confirm that this is what the flower is and this is how I want it to look like. When going through and erasing, you want to be very careful, as well as when you are sketching with your pencil, you don't want to do too hard. And I wouldn't worry about overlapping anything because you can just erase it anyhow. So then once I have the outline finished, I'm actually going to go back through with a thin pen, and this is a micron pen, or you could also use a Sharpie thin pen. And this is a great way to solidify what you want to be seen through your painting. So when doing watercolors, this micron pen or Sharpie thin pen will not bleed through when you add water on top of it, which is so nice and so convenient. And then this way you can actually go through and add additional details, such as with the flowers, I'm adding little wrinkles into the daffodils. If you look pretty closely at different flowers, they've kind of got this all living life type of wrinkles going through it. And then as I am doing the outline for the stems, make sure you're really careful and don't go through the markings that you have made, but make sure you try to keep it as similar as you can to the direction that it was originally going. And then I like to go through and add a little bit of, they're like little circles for the inside of the flower, and I like them just peeking out just a little bit so you can see like, oh look, there it is. And then after all of that is done, let it sit for a couple minutes and then come back and erase everything so all of your pencil markings are gone, because otherwise they will show through once you start painting it. And then take a large eraser, go through and completely erase everything that you couldn't get before, and then take your large brush and then swipe it away. Now here I am doing just a solid base color, which in this case is going to be yellow iron oxide. And as I'm doing just the base color, I try to be a little bit more darker on the outer petals than I do on the inside of kind of like where the flower opens up. And then I'll go through and I'll add a little bit of green. Be really careful that both of these colors are dry. If you go through with the Viridian and touch it to the yellow that you just painted on, it will bleed through, and we don't want that to happen because we want a nice clean and clear and crisp line with this type of style that we're doing. And we're just going to continue on with the last one. Next, I'm going to do another layer of the yellow iron oxide, and this time I'm going to try to make a visible difference between the flower and the shading. And you can actually do this a couple times to be able to, you know, add a layer, let it dry, add another layer, let it dry, and this will really add a lot of dimension to the flower that you're painting. And then after all that's done, you just have to sign and it's ready to go. I really thoroughly enjoy how this came out. I wasn't quite expecting the nice crispness that I could see with the Viridian and the yellow, and this really came out really well. So I'm happy for it, and then I will also be filming a video to show you guys how to mat it to get it up on your wall. So thank you so much for watching, and if you guys enjoy this, please feel free to give it a like, subscribe, and follow me on my other channels as well. Thank you and have a wonderful day.